Good day everyone, I'm David, moderator for this webinar. And I welcome everyone for today's webinar, which is Provider Credentialing, Maintaining Provider Enrollments, Updates and Revalidations. I would now like to introduce our presenter for today, Cati Harris. Cati Harris, CBCS, is a nationally certified credentialing, billing and coding specialist. With over 20 years of experience in the healthcare industry, Cati is the Director of Provider Credentialing and Contracting with Solar Inc., a third-party billing company providing physicians across all specialties, full service, revenue cycle management, billing, and credentialing. I would now like to hand over the floor to the speaker. Over to you, Cati.
Thank you, David. I appreciate the introduction. So let's get started. Some of the learning objectives today will be, when do you start credentialing? What is needed to maintain the provider enrollment with payers? How do you set up and maintain the NPPES, the INA management system, CAQH, and PECOS? How do you review and validate and track provider documents? How do you prepare, review, submit, and track payer applications? How do you link a previously credentialed provider with a new payer under your tax ID and contracts? Revalidations and various credentialing tips. So for the credentialing keys to success, it's broken down into 4 areas: research, preparation, tracking, and communication. So how do you start credentialing a provider? First and foremost thing is the research. And research is divided into two parts. First and foremost is the provider research. There's specific things that you need to know and vital information that you need to have in order to proceed with the provider's credentialing. The next part of the research part of the provider research is your provider welcome packet. The welcome packet is going to clearly lay out details, instructions, and information. This way they can't ever say, I didn't know, or I didn't get that, or what have you. This will eliminate a lot of gaps in preparation, and it'll also help you to have a way of checking up on yourself as well. The next part of research is obtain any of the logins that they have. New providers without logins. Here right now that you're seeing on your screen is an example of the provider enrollment form and the documents required for credentialing form for the provider. So the provider required documents checklist. This here is an example of a welcome letter and slash contract kind of together. This right here is an example of the CAQH attestation form. This is the last 3 pages of CAQH basically. So now we're moving on to the payer research. So for the research on the payer side, you're going to want to know what the payer application and document requirements are. Make sure that you get the payer contact information. And the other thing that people overlook so often is your provider representative for the payer, their contact information. So just to review, for the provider welcome package documents, you've got the provider enrollment information document, you've got the payer documents. This right here is the example of the payer contact information. The next step of it, so you've done your research, your provider research and your payer research, is the preparation of everything. The provider document preparation. So this is extremely, extremely important. The INA access and management is the main umbrella. The next is the INA access and management system. Next is the payer document preparation. So for the application preparation, it is vital to complete the payer application with current and accurate information. For payer applications submitted via a website, again, complete all fields on the online application. Pay close attention to the required fields because, again, if you don't do it, then you can't submit it, and there you have it. So linking of a provider mid-level. Something to remember about provider revalidations. All payers require re-credentialing or revalidation once the provider is credentialed. Tracking is divided into 2 parts, document tracking and application tracking. So for the provider document tracking tools, getting close to the end of this, communication. And the biggest thing is to try to minimize the impact to your practice provider that credentialing can have on it, the financial impact. Some of the steps that you can do. So once the provider is credentialed and approved, what is next? And like I'd said before, there's been several forms that I've shown throughout here. I have included that with this webinar. I don't know if it's already been sent to you or not. If not, I'm happy to provide them personally, or at the end of this, they can, let you know what is the preferred method. Thank you for everybody taking the time out of your day and joining us. And like I said, I hope that you were able to gain some more information and help to really build a strong platform for your credentialing and maintaining revalidations and have you. The biggest thing is make sure that you pay attention, follow up, stay on track, if you follow the tips and tricks that I gave you, you should have a very successful program. And if not, you're welcome to reach out to me. Thank you again. I appreciate your attendance. It has been great to have this time with you guys.
Okay, thank you so much, Katie. Okay, so that does conclude the sessions for today. Thank you everyone for participating. You may all disconnect now. Have a great day ahead.